In effect, the core of the French under-21s against the cornerstones of the senior French national team. Such an entrancing prospect that every ticket could have been sold 3 times over. There's one standout name missing from the Auxerre lineup though. Djibril Cissé, the best young striker in France, is injured, but his replacement, the Zimbabwean Benjani, has scored 6 goals in his last 6 games. Philippe Mexes, the 20-year-old centre-back, is on the shopping list of most major European clubs. Arsenal have had to leave out Freddie Ljungberg, who's been feeling ill today, so Kolo Touré makes his first Champions League start. It's the team that won so impressively at Leeds at the weekend. Arsenal have played here once before, 7 seasons ago, in the quarter-finals of the Cup Winners' Cup, when a goal by Ian Wright sent them through. In fact, they've never lost to a French team in France, a record they should maintain. It's a breathless night. It is the leaders in France against the top team in England, a number of whose players are leading figures in the French national team. Auxerre have some of the best young players in France. So what do you expect to happen, Clive Allen?
Well, I think certainly it will be a game in which Arsenal should dominate and they should control the tempo and pace of the game. And Arsene Wenger was a great pleased in the press conference yesterday to say how he knows of Auxerre's threat, particularly on the counter-attack, and I think that's what they'll be aware of. But as we know, Arsenal at the moment, everything put in their way, they seem to just roll over. And it's another opportunity this evening to reinforce that belief that this is a competition they want to win this year.
Here's Henry, trying to play in Ashley Cole. Kanu is well advanced in the middle, and it nearly fell to him. Crumbs, Clive, we've had more than 20 seconds without a goal.
There's an opportunity though, and unfortunately Ashley didn't get the Swedish crosses in.
This is Vieira now. Set out by Boumsong. And this is Rade, the right fullback. Benjani, challenged illegally by Pascal Sigon, all 6'5" of him. And still is an air of invulnerability about Arsenal this season. 22 games since their last defeat, which was at Juventus. Here's Vieira. Far side now is Sylvain Wiltord, and the flag's up on the far side. Offside has been given, I think, against Kanu.
Yeah, Kanu in the 6-yard box, but what a magnificent move. Brilliant flick by Henry. The ball played wide, and there we see Kanu in the offside position as Wiltord drives in the shot across the face of the box. But wonderful, again, wonderful explosive pace from Arsenal.
Warren. Kanu. Adhesive control, the runner is Vieira. Kanu used him as a foil.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Kanu. The only thing that let him down was it didn't hit the target because he used Vieira as a decoy, and as he drags it inside, had he hit the target, there was absolutely no doubt for me. He tries to chip it in that top corner, and Fabien Cool, I think, would have been beat had it been on target.
Touré. Kanu. He's on his blocks through the middle, and they've ignored Sylvain Wiltord. 2 for the fullback. And it'll come to Kanu. Well, even at 6'5", he couldn't quite gather that in. That was out of play.
Well, again, I just think that shows the movement that Arsenal possess. Thierry Henry made a fantastic run infield.
Lachouer, a bit more pace about this. Shot was from Benjani. Still not really enough to trouble David Seaman. Easy slalom run, pulled down by Rade. Slightly desperate by the fullback.
Certainly didn't touch him, but as we can see, a wonderful feat from Thierry Henry, and he really is positive, and it's so quick-footed that it's very, very difficult. Slightest touch, and he's then to ground.
It's Henry. But it was a strange setup because the wall wasn't a wall.
It was disjointed, but Thierry Henry's intention was clear, and that is on its way.
Auxerre's previous home game, their opening match in this season's Champions League, was a fairly sterile 0-0 draw against PSV. Also been beaten 2-1 in Dortmund last week, so only 1 point from their opening 2 fixtures. Arsenal, by way of contrast, have 6, looking to make it 9. Here's Touré, and now Sylvain Wiltord, touch to control, and Gilberto! It has taken 2.5 minutes of the second half, and what were we saying? Arsenal will score, because they always score.
And it's just wonderful play, build up down the left, and who arrives into the box. He's certainly enjoying this competition, fastest goal in Champions League history. He's added a second. Gilberto, the Brazilian, puts Arsenal in front. Say the game plan for Arsene Wenger working to perfection. You can just sense that Arsenal can turn defence into attack so swiftly with Henry's pace and the presence of Wiltord and in particular Canu breaking in from wide positions are always going to be a problem to handle for the Auxerre defence.
Thierry Henry is just struggling, by the way, at the moment, and the referee is asking him how he is. That Henry is limping a little. Arsenal's next Premiership engagement is 4 days away at home to Sunderland, 3 weeks before their next Champions League game. Gary Lewin, the physio, will be keeping a close eye on that hamstring problem of Thierry Henry's. Lauren looking for Tennant. By way of support for Jermaine Tennant. Canu. Canu's cross, and the header is a decent one from Wiltord.
That was excellent build-up from Arsenal, real control possession. They got Tennant into a wide position, and he retained possession of the ball, worked it well, and Wiltord gets the header on target.
Giroud now needs to inject some extra impetus into his team. Over 2,000 matches in charge at this club, dating back to 1961. Touch by Fadiga to Jales. Gilberto lost it to Tainio. 5. Benjani. What a glimpse of what he's all about.
It was, and he was hurried. There was good pressure from Arsenal, but I've got to say, great concentration from David Seaman, because that's a good stop. The shot was fired in by Benjani, and it bounced just in front of him.
Benjani. Oh, Benjani rattles the crossbar. Some pace on that shot. I don't know how much of it Seaman actually saw. Still danger not away. Amdi Faye. What a strike that was from Benjani.
Sensational strike, and I think he caught David Seaman by surprise. We can see it here, just moves across. I wonder if Seaman just got a finger to it to push it onto the crossbar. I think he maybe just got the faintest of tips which pushed it onto the crossbar, but what a great effort. I've got to say, a really organised, disciplined away performance in Europe, and I think Arsene Wenger will be absolutely delighted to reinforce that belief that they can go on and be very successful in this competition this season.
It's played 1-3 for Arsenal, who continue to carry all before them. Not quite as fluent tonight, but effective enough. The men in blue have banished the away Blues with back-to-back victories on their travels. PSV last week, Auxerre this, Gilberto the match winner. It's finished Auxerre 0, Arsenal 1.
Arsene, well done. It looked comfortable, was it?
Well, I would say it was a difficult game. It was our third away game in 1 week. We played at Eindhoven, at Leeds, and tonight here. So it was quite difficult physically, but mentally we kept strong and we're solid tactically and technically, and that got us through the game, and the 3 points were vital for us tonight.
What's the secret to this comfort away from home now, all of a sudden?
Well, you know, I don't really know. I think we're more mentally ready for it now. We're switched on for the first second. Maybe last year we wasn't really switched on, and a lot of the players now are getting used to the Champions League, so that helps as well.
Gilberto Silva settled in so well into this team, and he's provided you with another goal at a crucial time.
Yes, he knows when to come out from the midfield and get in the box, and then he's lethal once he's in the box. He's good in the air. He's a fantastic player. They call him the invisible wall in Brazil, and you see why, but he's visible as well.
When we start to play like the passing ball, Gilberto is one of us who can really keep the ball, and he never get nervous on the pitch. You know, he's really enjoyed playing football, and he gives us a good shape on the pitch.
Thierry Henry, what's the news on him, because he came off?
It looks a little bit worrying with a hamstring, but the first signs after the game are quite good. It should be short, 4 or 5 days maybe.
So possibly back for the weekend's game?
Possibly, if all goes well.
Of Arsenal's lead at the top of Group A, just one more point should be enough to see them through. Auxerre come to Highbury in 3 weeks' time. Well, Annie, not quite as emphatic as against PSV, but 2 away wins back-to-back in Europe will do a heck of a lot for confidence.
Yeah, it was. The result wasn't emphatic, but I thought the performance was. I thought they were very solid and very comfortable. They really were. And we talk about, you know, how important Lundberg is getting forward and scoring goals for Arsenal. But that's twice Gilberto in European ties has produced the goods. You know, they call him invisible man, or whatever it is, but he always appears. He does a lot of untidy work, if you like. Here he's not in the picture. All of a sudden he arrives late. The midfield player, Gabby, that arrives late in the box is the hardest man to pick up in the game. There's no doubt about it. And him and Vieira are superb. People look at the two of them and they think, you know, they're very solid, they're very strong, they're great passers of the ball, but they get forward as well. The relationship that he has with Vieira, I think Gilberto and Vieira, some say could eclipse the relationship that Petit and Vieira had. Well, him and Petit were certainly very good, but what's our on this is, you know, we're talking about Gilberto getting forward. Look at Vieira getting on his bike here. He must run fully, you know, 100 yards here. Henry gets the ball, releases him in, and the defender gets back across, but it's a willingness to work. I made the point the other day there that the one thing that really impresses me so much about Arsenal, probably more than anything, Gabby, is their work ethic. I mean, when they don't have the ball, they work hard to get it back, but when they do have it, they're prepared to run for each other and make angles. They're on fire at the moment. Wasn't all their day, a few scares. 1 or 2 scares. We might have a wee criticism if you like, but they didn't finish the team off. They obviously didn't finish Auxerre off. They could have. And this is, Benjini hits this, I don't know where he hits this, and what an effort that is. That's unbelievable. And if we're going to criticise him a little bit, I think Seaman, to be fair, does get his fingertips to this. There. Yeah, he also gets his back right round the bar there. Yeah, he does, yeah. It's a good stop. And probably more worrying for him here, Gabby. I mean, hopefully it's nothing too serious, but just stretching there, and he's probably just maybe tweaked his hamstring a little bit. His manager reckons it's only a few days, but would it be quite as big a problem for Arsenal losing Henry as Manchester United losing Van Nistelrooy? Not for me, no. I think they're both sensational players, but I think Van Nistelrooy's a little bit more important to United in the respect that I think Arsenal have other players they could bring in that would score them goals. I mean, Lundberg's going to get fit very soon, Bergkamp can score goals, Wiltord can score goals. I look at the United side at the moment, I just think they're probably a little bit more reliant on Van Nistelrooy.